Here we are, 1 month into 2026, and we've already got great movies like Send Help and Bone Temple. So I decided I'd do my 10 most anticipated movies for the rest of this year. Let's see what we got. All right, 2026 honestly looks to be pretty stacked with movies. And we've already started off with two pretty good ones, in my opinion. Like I said, Bone Temple and Send Help. I've already seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which comes out this month. That would have been on this list, but since I've already seen it, I'm going to leave it off this list, but definitely go see that one. Great movie to watch. I'm also going to leave off the two big ones for this year, which is Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday. I'm excited for those. I'm hoping they're great, but they're the obvious choice to most of these anticipated lists, so I'm just going to leave them off for now. And we're going to focus on other movies for this list. So with that being said, let's start off with number 10, which is going to be Greta Gerwig's Narnia. Now, I'm excited about this because I love the Narnia books. I even love the Narnia movies we've gotten. But we always seem to not do Magician's Nephew, which I understand that book. I don't think that book was written first, but it's like the prequel. It tells you how the queen got to power and got to Narnia and all that stuff. So I'm excited to finally get an adaptation of this book because we haven't really got that. My only down thing is the whole casting rumor about who was going to voice Aslan. I mean, Aslan's a male lion. It's a lion with a mane. You can't really gender swap that, in my opinion, but I'll give the movie a chance no matter what they do there. But that just seems odd to me and is why it's down at number 10 and not higher up with my love for Narnia. Now, number 9 is another movie that's kind of low just because I don't really know. We've only had one movie in this universe so far since it got rebooted, and that is Supergirl. Now, I love the actress playing Supergirl. She was great in the Game of Thrones House of Dragon. And Jason Momoa as Lobo is almost perfect fan casting. So everything to me looks like this should be a good movie, but we're just still too new into this universe for me to rank it too much higher on my anticipated list. Now, number 8 is going to be Violent Night 2. The first Violent Night was a real surprise for me. I love David Harbour as Santa Claus. I love the whole Die Hard action feel, but with Santa Claus. So I'm excited to see what they do for number 2. Hopefully it lives up to how good number 1 was, but we'll never know until we get it. And I mean, we haven't seen much on it, if anything at all. We just know it's happening. So hopefully it's good. Now, number 7 is another one we also haven't got really anything on. We haven't seen it. We just know it's going to be an original story and not based off the source material. And that is Resident Evil by Zach Cregger. Now, Zach Cregger is the same guy that did Weapons and Barbarian, which I love those movies. So I'm hoping that this movie is good. But we're getting yet another Resident Evil movie that's not based off the games. It's just set in a universe similar to Resident Evil. It's supposed to have the Resident Evil vibes. If anyone can pull it off, it's going to be Zach Cregger. But I really wish that we just adapt a game. Like, you have the stories there. Let's just adapt one of them. But because of the movies he's done, I have hope. And I'm hoping he gives us something good. Next up is going to be Clayface at number 6. Now, this is purely because of the names attached. It's weird to me that we're making a Clayface movie. We haven't even got Batman in the new DCU yet, but we're doing Clayface. But Mike Flanagan's name's on it. So that right there is enough to have me excited about it without really knowing too much about it. And it just got moved to October instead of September, which makes me think they're focusing more on the horror vibes. They want to get that Halloween group in October to come see it. So High hopes for it, hoping it's good. Next up is number 5 is going to be Project Hail Mary. Now, I'm a huge fan of sci-fi films, alien films, all that stuff. It's probably my favorite genre. So this one I am super excited about for several reasons. Because number 1, it's a sci-fi alien film. 2, it's written by the same author that did The Martian, which was a great movie. And it's done by the directors that gave us the Lego movie, which was played nonstop in my house. I love that movie. My kid loved it even more. And 21 and 22 Jump Street, which to me are almost near perfect action comedies. I love those movies. So I have high hopes for this movie. I'm hoping it's great. Plus, I mean, I love sci-fi. So next up is another genre of movies I love, and we haven't got a good one in a while. Last year we were supposed to have one, ended up being very disappointing, and that is Werewolf by Robert Eggers. I love werewolf films. American Werewolf in London, The Howling, those are two of my favorite horror movies. So I'm excited that we're getting a new werewolf movie by a good director. This is the same guy that gave us Nosferatu, The Northman, Lighthouse. So he has a good track record with movies. And I'm hoping that he gives us a good werewolf movie, because the Wolfman we got last year, extremely disappointing. Next up is Mortal Kombat 2. And that's at number 3. So I grew up with a Sega Genesis, and I had Mortal Kombat 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Played those games all the time. Always been a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I am a huge Reptile fan, for those who are curious. But I have learned to use Scorpion and Sub-Zero a lot in the newer games, and have liked them a little bit more, because Reptile seems to get the short end of the stick when it comes to the ninja-looking ones. But I am excited for this movie, because we're finally getting the tournament, which I was hoping we would get in the last one. And it finally seems they're not going to focus on the new character they created. They're going to focus on the actual fighters from the games, which is what we want. So hopefully this takes everything they messed up and didn't do in number 1 and just goes balls out for number 2. And it looks like they're going to. So I'm hoping it's great. It's high on this list because of my nostalgia for it and my high hopes on it. Now, number 2 is going to be Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. Now, I am huge into Greek mythology, and the Odyssey is one of the greatest stories out of Greek mythology. I read that book multiple times. I'm excited for this movie. You take one of the best directors of late, and you give him one of my favorite stories. I have high hopes. And the cast is only bringing those hopes even higher. So this comes in at number 2 because I am super excited about it, and I'm hoping that Christopher Nolan delivers a beautiful epic. Now, coming in at number 1 for my most anticipated movies of 2026 should be no surprise for those who know me pretty well. Since I was a little kid, I've always been a huge fan of this franchise. I collected VHS, I've collected Blu-rays, I collected action figures. I even still have some statues behind me over here. And that is Godzilla. So this year we are getting Godzilla -0, the sequel to -1. Now, -1 has easily made it into one of my favorite movies of all time list. I know, that's saying a lot, but I love Godzilla. I always have loved Godzilla, and -1 does something that almost no Godzilla movie has done, and that is giving me a cool Godzilla, but also made it to where I didn't want to fast forward the human parts. Typically on a Godzilla film, I'll fast forward to the monster fights, the Godzilla destruction, all that stuff. This movie gives me a terrifying Godzilla that I love seeing on the screen, but also story in between the Godzilla scenes that I care about. I care about the characters. I feel for the characters. It's not one of those, when's the next monster scene? Let's just get to that. And because of that, this movie has made its way as to my number one most anticipated movie, because I want more Godzilla movies like -1, and I'm hoping -0 fills that void for me. Gives me the feelings I felt when I watched -1. So that is why this movie comes in at number one for me for 2026. Now, that is my list of the 10 most anticipated movies for me. I'm curious which your list is. So go ahead and post your list down below. That way I can see it, I can comment on it, we can have a movie discussion. And make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. That way whenever I post a new video, a new short, or any changes that are coming to the channel, you know first, all right? And I thank everybody for the support, and I will see you in the next one.